clearly there's a lovely, delicious rap beef brewing. Kendrick Lamar sent
Years
some
in the
shots
making.
out. A decade, right?
Yeah, probably a decade in the making.
Okay.
End times prophecy of rap beefs.
Yeah.
This is it,
End
dude.
times prophecy of rap beefs. We get to finally see who is number one. Kendrick throws some shots out. It looks like he's just throwing some jabs, trying to elicit a reaction. J. Cole gives him the reaction, and then what happens?
And then he apologized, bro.
Interesting. Give us the context of this apology.
Well, first I got to start. I've never been more wrong.
Yeah, thank you. Al predicted big things at Dreamville, and big things happen. But the opposite way.
Drake's coming out of Dreamville.
That was his WrestleMania.
Thank you
I
for
know,
owning that.
I know,
Thank you for
no,
owning
I
that.
It was Black people's WrestleMania. They were so excited.
Technically, it was supposed to happen. Something changed. Because I did get a word that he was supposed to go to Dreamville. And probably Cole releasing this little diss track maybe might have changed his plans on that. I don't know.
Oh.
But it was a last minute change that Drake did.
He meaning Drake. So Drake was going to
supposed-
go to Dreamville, and
Yeah.
then he's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, he predicted Drake was going to go to Dreamville, drop a diss.
And now Dreamville, for everybody who's watching and is unaware, is a concert that J. Cole throws in his hometown.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's from North Carolina?
Yes. Yeah.
Greensboro or something like that?
Yeah.
Is that it?
We should know.
So he
I think
throws
so.
a huge concert. I think there's like 50,000 people there, something crazy.
Yeah.
And then he goes on stage, and the video we see is he's apologizing for the.
I've never been so disappointed ever.
Okay, talk through it.
So it's like hip hop has always been a competitive thing. Like it's always I'm the best, I'm the top dog.
Yeah.
And finally we were getting some of that energy again in hip hop. Like we haven't had it for a really long
And for
time.
a decade, there had been this debate, who's number one between these three? Kendrick, Drake, Cole.
Now, there's somebody who said this, and I don't want to, I wish I remembered exactly who, but maybe it was academics, but it was like, you can't pull out of the safest rap beef ever.
Yeah.
None of them are going to kill one another.
Nope.
It's one thing when people start getting shot, your security's getting murdered, you're like, okay, let's calm this thing down.
Yeah.
This was only going to be bars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alex, continue.
So Cole drops a surprise album on Friday, like a couple days before Dreamville concert. And one of the songs on there, it's 7-minute drill.
Yeah.
Where he's taking shots at Kendrick. He's responding to That's It by Kendrick's diss track towards him. It was mediocre at best.
Yeah.
He didn't seem like he wanted to beef. Like
Yeah.
it was just like very lackluster. And then 2 days later, he apologized for making this diss track and like, hey, I regret doing this. It didn't feel good. He's losing sleep over it. How do you lose sleep over making a diss track?
Okay, so
How do you lose sleep over making a diss
So
track?
I've thought about this. So this, I'm going to give,
This is...
I'm going to give, I know. I'm going to give, I don't even want to call it pushback. I'm going to give another perspective on this, right? J. Cole has existed around the top 3 rappers for what, the last 8 years?
Yeah.
Maybe 10 years? I don't know. I'm not exactly. But like, has been respected by everybody, loved by everybody, making tons of money, never really beefing with anybody seriously. He's lived like a pretty spiritually high journey in the rap game, which is hard. Think about what Drake got to go through on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Everybody come at his fucking head. Every single person. The young bucks are coming at him. The old dudes are coming at him. Their diss tracks come from every different direction. You got to put a fire out here. You got to put a fire out here. You got to put a fire. That's a stressful fucking life. J. Cole gets to be a hippie, smoke weed. I don't even know if he smokes weed, go help out the community, wear whatever the fuck he wants. Like, he gets to really exist. He's Snapple. Remember when Snapple did that thing like, we're number 3. When you're number 3, you could mess around with flavors. You could make a banana flavored or a raspberry flavored.
Yeah.
Remember, he's like Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they can't do anything because they're number 1 and 2. But number 3, that's when you get to experiment and have fun. And he has been able to experiment and have fun.
Yeah.
And he is unanimously respected, maybe not considered the number 1, but to his fans, he's the number 1, which is what's really important.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck what the people who aren't your fans think? If your fans think you're number 1, you're number 1.
Yeah.
But now he's friends with everybody. Now he engages in this beef. He loses the peace. He loses the sanctity. Maybe he loses what he really wants. Maybe he doesn't care about being unanimous number 1 in the way Drake does. That's probably Drake's dream, is I need to be the greatest rapper ever. Maybe what he likes is his position in the game. He likes being Snapple. And the second he starts to feel the pressure of being Coke, he was like, fuck this, I'm out.
I would agree with you if he hasn't for the past 3 years been saying he's the best, he's number one.
But like
he's been saying it more and more
Yeah.
and actually starting to believe it.
Yeah.
And he's actually been rapping his ass off.
no, he's so nice. Nobody.
So it's like, I don't know. It's like you can't just keep going for the spot.
Snapple's better than Coke. Like it is.
No.
Son, it's like Coke
Better than
is,
a Diet Coke at
Son,
DC?
Come on.
okay, here's the thing. DC, let me get there. A DC
Talking out
without
your
lemon,
I know.
a DC
out
without
your
lemon
ass.
is nothing. A DC without lemon is sludge. A DC without lemon is poison. If I don't have a lemon that I can put in a DC, it's not even a DC. A DC shouldn't even be sold without lemon. It's a straw, a napkin, and a lemon should come with every single
Coke
DC.
in the glass bottle. You're anywhere outside of America, fire, crazy.
First of all, now
incredible.
you're taking me internationally.
But that's
The
what it's
fact that
supposed
you
to
need
be.
to create a caveat that's international just shows me that you don't believe in Coke in America.
That's the real Coke. It's just the sugar. That's it.
Which country are you loyal to? Hey, listen here, Ben Shapiro. Which country does your true loyalty lie? Oh, a Mexican Coke is way better than a
Hey,
regular
at least
Coke.
I'm stepping out of my Overton window. At least I'm stepping out of my Overton window. Where you at?
Okay, take that right-wing Twitter and have some fun with it for a week.
But a warm Snapple is like a quart of water. Like, it's not good at all.
Oh, yeah, okay, now you're bringing temperature into this.
yeah,
Coke?
I mean,
What the
you
fuck
brought
is
you
that?
brought lemon.
Like, yeah, if you
brought
come
lemon.
into a Snapple, it
Yeah, it
sucks.
tastes
It's
like
what?
Yeah,
He brought
it's a
lemon
little
into it. How
salty
you
with
bring
ferment.
You're adding
Listen,
to the flavor.
we're assuming refrigeration on all beverages.
Yes.
What I'm trying to say is, which
Coke
I
is still
thought was our
better.
baseline. I like how they started as rap beef and we're like, let me tell you what the best drink in the world. What's the most refreshing? Okay, so I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe J. Cole preferred his position of being beloved by everybody, respected by everybody, and then not bearing the weight of a beef. The weight of a beef is heavy.
I think maybe he wanted.
Yeah.
I agree with Al. He did say he wanted to be number one. Maybe when he
Without
got there,
actually doing it.
But I think when he,
Do you know what I'm saying? Like in rap, sorry to cut you, but like you get to say your number. Everybody says their number.
Everybody says their number
I got
one.
the most bitches. I make the most money. I got it.
but he was doing it. To Al's point, he was the best. But I think when he started to get there, now everybody's seeing you as number one, and then they start shooting at you at number one. Heavy as the head towards the crown. You're like,
Yeah.
hey man, take that.
But also,
I don't want it.
You got to talk
Take
shit
that.
about.
Is that possible?
You
I'm
got
not
to talk
saying
shit
for
about
sure.
someone.
Like,
Like,
it's
What do you mean?
possible, but you don't make the diss track then.
but like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think in order to be quote unquote be number one, he has to talk shit about someone that he respects and admires.
Yeah.
and that sucks. And
Yeah.
I think he probably went to bed being like, "Why the fuck did I do this? Like,
Yeah.
why am I like engaging in this like petty nonsense?"
For what? So that the casuals who don't think I'm number one can now think I'm number one?
Yeah, I mean, he says that. He goes, "I want to protect my peace," and I was like, "Yeah, that's far."
I don't know. His peace wasn't disturbed after first person shooter when he makes a fucking banger where he's saying, hey, I'm Muhammad Ali out of these three guys. But now when he drops a weak diss track, now all of a sudden my piece is disturbed.
I'm not
he's
into
talking
this.
shit.
I'm not into what he did.
Muhammad
as a
Ali's
fan.
not the greatest boxer ever. I just. You know,
He's like the Snapple of boxers.
Yeah, he's
right?
the Snapple of boxing. It's the one we all like the most. It's the one we enjoy the most.
It has the best
Floyd
quotes.
Mayweather's the greatest
It has the
boxer
best
ever.
quotes.
I don't think
ever.
he wrote that thinking I'm not the greatest.
Yeah,
I don't think he wrote
yeah.
down. I don't think that was his intention when he wrote
No,
it.
and again, I don't know if that's intention, but even the way I interpret it, he's the most beloved. There's not one person that doesn't love Muhammad Ali. But true boxing enthusiasts will say that he wasn't the greatest
But
boxer
as just a
ever.
rap fan listening to a rap song, he's saying he's the greatest.
Sure.
But he doesn't shit on anyone.
But that's the one thing. The only thing he did that was kind of. I remember thinking in the moment, I was like, "Oh, this feels a little." He says the big three, me and Kendrick or whatever, and then when he says the Spider-Man meme is me looking at Drake, I do remember being like, "Oh, you kind of left Kendrick out of that." But I don't think. I think he was trying to do the J. Cole thing. To be fair to him, where he's like, "Hey, we're all great. I'm the best because we're doing the rap thing. But
Yeah.
I'm making sure everybody feels good about
Yeah.
themselves." And that's just not, dude. We're just old. I think we're like I'm almost 40. I'm looking at this. I want the rappers to be what I grew up with. I think kids are just not like that as much anymore.
Nah,
They're like
it's just-
therapized
nah.
and well adjusted.
Nah.
Some kids.
Some.
not even close. It's just not in rap. It's in streaming. If you want real beef, you got to go to streaming. That's what a real beef is. On
Yeah.
rap, you're not going to find no real beef.
Okay, well, I'm 40 again, so I'm not.
Yeah, you
streaming.
fucking loser.
Yeah.
Watch some. Come on, brother. Watch some streams. Let's see some real beef, okay? Come on, Turbo, special team. Come on, brother. We need some real beef from you, J. Cole. You need some real beef. No,
He was. He was definitely
No,
that.
I
this
respect
weekend.
it.
here's the thing. I understand where he's coming from, and selfishly, you just want carnage, right?
Yeah, he wants to see black men fight. That's what
you want to see black men fight.
Spar.
That's true. Black men they love boxing.
Yeah,
That's just
come on,
about
a
boxing.
nice little slap box, you know? That's
Why
just
can't we
fun
see
with your
black men
friends.
love each other? Why can't they just love
There's
each
a
other?
lot of
that's
that
white
too.
boy.
Go to
That's
Atlanta.
Go Diddy.
That's
But
like
what if they
dick
just-
punches
just-
and shit like that. We
yeah,
don't
go
wanna
to
see that
Atlanta.
Shit. You don't want to see that shit. Come on.
You want to
man.
see real blood.
Yeah.
You want to see bloodshed.
No, I think we want to see someone come out of this and be like, oh, that's the guy.
Yes.
I think that's what we want. We want a champion.
What we got out of this is now knowing who's not the guy.
Yes.
Does that ever
Cole
happen
can
though?
never be
Does
the
that
guy.
ever happen in a rap beef where like?
Yeah.
So Nas is the guy.
No, but he clearly
It's like-
won the battle.
There's no question
and
who won.
Drake and Meek. Drake clearly won the battle. Meek could never be that guy after that. So it's like it's one of those things where it's just like, hey, this person is better than you when you guys battle each other.
Even Push clearly beat Drake, even if Drake is great.
Nobody even remembers.
Whatever.
So then it doesn't prove who the
people
guy is.
People remember that. People
You
remember.
know who didn't forget it?
Hold on, make that.
But like everyone knows the ether beat. Like everyone knows like yo Nas body Jay-Z. But then it's like Jay-Z's still the guy.
Yeah.
But
So it doesn't prove anything.
Let him
here's
make his point.
gap.
Yeah.
The gap between Jay-Z and Nas way bigger, and I don't mean in terms of rap skill, but just accolades and sales and everything and duration. Way bigger than the gap between Cole, Kendrick, Drake.
But the point is, at the
see.
time, it wasn't. And then Nas won, and Jay-Z got here. So despite losing, he still got here. So to Mark's point, it doesn't really decide. All it does is decide for that moment. With Pusha and Drake, it decided for that moment, and then Drake just went here, and now we don't really know what Pusha's doing. So it doesn't really decide anything. It helps us. We enjoy it. We like to chew on it. It's nice and fatty, but the reality is it doesn't really dictate career.
I do think at this level, they've been in the game so long. I do think, I mean, how old is J. Cole? He's in his mid-30s. He could keep going. He could. But I think when it's this close, we're talking tiebreakers. Maybe a beef is like a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And I think this was the tiebreaker because we see them here and we've seen them here for 10 years now.
Here's the thing. I never, and this is with all due respect to J. Cole, I've never seen him in that. I don't see Kendrick there. It's Drake and that's it. And there's a big drop off after Drake. And that's it. And J. Cole, I think, is so beloved and respected and thought of as like a nice guy. And then every time he does a feature, you're like, is this guy the best rapper on the fucking planet? You're like, this is incredible. He's just so skilled at the thing and so loved that you're like, yeah, I think he's up there. But he's not really.
I mean,
It's
if
Drake.
you're only going by sales, then I can see what
No,
you say
no,
that.
not sales.
But in terms of like musical ability and how they craft albums, they all make amazing
No, they're
albums.
all masterful at their craft.
like-
Don't get me wrong, they're all masterful at their craft. I'm talking about like cultural impact. Like even Kendrick, might come out, drop, and then it's a big explosion for a little bit. It's like a streaming show. It's like he comes out, there's a season of it, everybody's consuming it, and then after that, we take a break from Kendrick. Whereas like Drake, it's just omnipresent. It's you walk into fucking H&M, it's gonna be Drake. You walk into the club, it's gonna be Drake. You're at the fucking airport, it's Drake. It's just everywhere. It's inescapable.
This isn't a perfect analogy because the show I'm going to compare the artist to put out more content, but it's like Drake is Friends, Kendrick is Curb. Larry David comes out with a season whenever he kind of feels like coming out with a season. Now he's put out like 12 seasons over 30 years or whatever, but Friends, bangers consistently, but you kind of know what you're getting, and it kind of is what it is. It's good. I love that show. It's great. Curb is its own thing. Comparing the two is tough, but you're like, those are all-time great shows.
So there's
Both
maybe
of them.
like more density to
Yes.
a Kendrick album.
Yes.
And that's reflective over the fact that like it takes him
Yeah.
several years to put together, while Drake, it might take him several months to put together.
Kendrick's putting out a piece.
Right.
This is a piece.
Wow.
It's art. It is what it is. However we feel about it, that is, he put everything into this for years, and that's the project. Drake will give you consistent bangers, and they're not going to hit this level of artistry.
Yeah.
But them motherfuckers are going to consistently hit you.
You just
Now-
translated into white, bro. I appreciate
Hey,
that.
thank you.
I'll be fire.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, like, do y'all listen to Kendrick? Do you put it on?
I don't put it on. I don't put
I
on
do
Drake.
a little
I,
bit, but definitely not as much as Drake. But I do listen to
Yeah,
Kendrick.
I don't.
I put on J. Cole features out of all these three the most.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to London. After 7 Minute Run, I was like, that was cool. Let me listen to London. And I was like, this shit is so crazy.
That London song is so incredible.
It's insane.
Yeah. But now we're talking about Cole. I guess what I'm saying is
We all just like carnage. We want to see him.
You wanna
battle.
see
That's
it. You wanna
we
see
pay
it.
to see fucking YouTubers box. We can't see a fucking rap beat,
But also,
bro.
this is a
No.
friendly. And
but now we're getting what we actually wanted. I don't think anybody wanted to see J. Cole and Drake go against Kendrick together. That's a 2-on-1. If anything, J. Cole separates himself, maintains his relationship with both guys. They get to all dap up when they hang out. Everybody still likes J. Cole. He gets to do features for everybody. He doesn't live with the beef or looking over his shoulder. Drake is used to that. He's like, this is going to be my life. I'm looking over my shoulder. I got security. I got, hood dudes over here who got my back. I'm partnered up with these dudes in Houston, these dudes in Toronto. Like, I'm set up. So he's used to that fucking life. Whereas J. Cole's like, I don't think I want that life. I don't want to look over my fucking shoulder.
Yeah.
And not like he would have to in this scenario.
It just sucks. I genuinely think like if you, in order to get where you want in your career, had to shit on someone you really admired and respected, how would you feel?